Hello everyone, so welcome to another episode here on Gorbad Ironclaw. So basically we're going to dedicate the next walk to Mork or Gork. I think I'm going to go with Mork this time because I do have a lot of missile units that are kind of carrying, especially with the spider ones. So I want to see if that affects them better, But because overall, of course, the melee is always good. But I do have a lot of missile units, and I'm banking on some other additions to missile power. So who knows? That's going to be the best lay. Yeah, such as like net them up and other abilities that are using a little bit more of missile power. So basically, I'm banking on that missile power. So yeah, I got to remember this passive ability, the Brood Mothers, because that implies that you gotta get the Arachnarok spiders in melee, and this is sometimes very difficult to check, which is that the fact that you have the Arachnarok flingers and you think of them as being artillery, but they are not really. So they're good to be an artillery unit, to just do damage while the enemy is coming over. But then you gotta use it as a melee unit, and especially most of it goes for being used as a melee unit, So overall, that's the sort of idea that we're going here for. Now, what are we going here? So Eric Backbiter, of course, is gonna wait for the lead to charge, and S's, that's what we do have here. Yeah, so I skip a few moments here just so that I can conquer here over on Gorgazan. Gorbad has a very powerful army. Mostly it works really well with auto-resolve as well. But yeah. So yeah, we got the province of Gorgazan here. And in Stormhenge, he's getting another army there. But for now, everything seems to be okay. So, oh yeah, gonna build some more gold here. And what do I want for you? Thick skin, yeah, that's for sure. I'll just decide these guys. Sometimes I'll tell you where I'm going with it. Sometimes I'll just decide on my own. But for now, just basically improving their skills, their melee capacity. That's in essence what we're doing here. We got Skarbrand here against us, and he has kind of like a nice army. There's a lot of single entities there that are difficult, some exalted bloodletters. This is not an easy fight, but of course I do have the garrison, so the orc units are going to be kind of like my chaff units here, while the Night Goblin fanatics are going to stay back. I really don't want them to take too many losses. And then we have Orc Airboys and the Trolls, as well as the Colossal Squigs. And then we have those Night Squig Hoppers, just trying to disrupt the AI a little bit and to try and see what they send against me. He's sending his hero there, so I cannot use him there. So yeah. And what we're going to do here, I'm going to try to use this Squig unit to see if it can lure them in. And their single entities and their ROR units are likely the biggest problem that I'm going to face. So yeah. And here we go. So just trying to get the Squigs to help out and do their damage. Yeah, come on, Squiggies. Just really, I don't want to have to fight on a position where he has the advantage. So overall, I'm just trying to see if I can lure him into that choke point where everything is much better for me. So yeah. What? Oh, I think I hit pause. I hit pause instead of K to release the banners and all of it. So the squigs are kind of doing their idea. That's a summon, by the way, so I have no trouble whatsoever if they die. Their purpose is precisely to try and bait. And here comes Scylla. And Scylla is a nice target for my archer units, for some of my spells. And yeah, especially he's rampaging the units that I really don't care too much about. And I still have some... It's amazing how fast he dealt with them, though. But yeah, of course, he didn't destroy them all. Of course, they were destroyed by the fact that they were summoned. But still, he was causing them damage like half damage really fast. So I thought that he would send at least some units over to that side with the knight, so that the knight squigs could hit them. But he didn't. So let's try and get rid of Scylla while everything else is just not here. And of course, yeah, the AI will send out some heroes like this. But yeah. And here's me using the fanatics in the worst way possible. Don't do this. They really... I was testing. I was seeing how well it could be done. You know, if I could send through the gaps. And I'm going to do that like 3 more times like a total noob. Because I couldn't see it. I was just spamming spells, you know, trying to use them. But they're too far away to use that. It has to be they're engaged and then they'll use the ability. Because otherwise, you're going to hit your own troops. So I did a lot of friendly damage. But well, I guess that's okay. I got some extra reinforcements as well. And they're going to be good at, you know, solidifying the gains here. I'm sending in some monstrous infantry. Just because you need someone brute to hit. You know, Scylla, he has a lot of health and he does replenish. So, because when units replenish or regenerate... sorry, not replenish. When they regenerate, basically what they want to be fighting is someone that doesn't cause too much damage. So that, you know, that it causes exactly the amount of damage that they can regenerate per turn. So that's why you gotta use some heavy hitters. Once again, I'm sending in my fanatics, and some of them are hitting, but not the best example. So this is a massive red on red battle. I swear I didn't tweak the settings. Everyone is red. So it seems like everyone likes the red paint. It's more promptly available or so. Wow, Scylla completely knocked my Rival Troll hag away. And right now my archers are focusing his single entities. That's it. Which is always a big problem because you never know whether or not to hit the single entities, whether to go for something else, you know. Like, yeah, I'm using the fanatics here. It's hitting my own troops. I don't know why I kept doing this. It's now hitting some of them. But, well, the Wog is going to do some of its damage now. And that's what you want is to actually be engaged in melee. And I should have sent the Night Goblins in already for, you know, even better Wog results. Which I wasn't, so that wasn't the best way. My Colossal Squigs, of course, they're doing damage. They're good anti-infantry, but if they are surrounded, they suffer a lot. But of course, with the Goblins and other units here, it doesn't pay too much damage. It doesn't cause them too much damage to them, you know, because a lot of it is soaked. So I'm hitting the single entities still, some Forsaking Dead, and you can see a lot of flags on my units, but Skarbrand is nearly on his last breath, and you can see that all that I'm doing is just removing units from the fight whenever they are low on health or about to lose it. And anyway, Skarbrand, I think, is gonna crash here. Yeah, he's now suffering. And finally, I get a good actual use of the Night Goblin's ability. So all of Khorne's units are kind of using the Hellblade, which is... it's absurd. They have so much damage in melee attack. They always hit. But they are routing so far. Everything that is here is just the units that have either tremendous leadership or have almost perfect leadership. But most of the enemy units, of course, they're demons. They're going to rout. I still have some units here, so on these battles, always pay attention to when you have units away. And this is a hard-fought battle, like I said. He had plenty of good units, and even with a choke point like this, you can see how difficult it is to fight sometimes. But mostly because this Night Goblin army is still not quite as effective in terms of the upgrades that it has. It needs some scrap upgrades and other stuff to really be good. Yep, get that dude. This was not meant to be. Well, they're gone, and I'm gonna just pursue them to finish them off. So Skarbrand actually survives, so I'm gonna have to pursue these guys and see what I can do. Yeah, and I defeated the Skarbrand, so there's that extra damage on my whole army, which is perfect. Fungus farms. I mean, I didn't realize that I could have that. Huh. I can equip. Yeah, I think so. What I want is a different one, but for now, yeah. It has the cooldown reduction and more abilities for those spinning loons, so that sounds good. Okay, let's get the caster to replenish the troops and spread control. Really want that. So increase mobility and stimulate growth. Yeah, I always focus a lot on the heroes on the blue line, and I always make it so that, you know, in battles I try to make sure that I get my, you know, my finesse to overcome any weaknesses that they may have, instead of just going for, you know, very powerful heroes or lords. Well, I kind of dislike the main idea of just going for that. I prefer really to use armies. You know, I'm a sucker for using just the army instead of the characters for some reasons. But it's mostly because that RPG element, I like it, but I dislike that it is when it is so powerful. You know, you literally have the ability of having some heroes and lords be undefeated, and I just don't find that. I try to limit that a little bit, because otherwise, it's not that I don't know how to do it, by the way, but because otherwise they're just way too powerful at sometimes at points. Okay, maybe I would like regimental there, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of plans, as you can see, because I don't have many heroes with level 30, which makes it, you know, that they don't need too many. And Gorbad is not exactly fighting a lot, so... Okay, scrap is another decision. Where I'm going to spend it. I really want to spend on Gorbad, just so that he has everything. It's the armor-piercing stuff. Really, I don't know. Maybe the ammunition here, and I just get that done. And then I still need these. Like, can you imagine these units with really full upgrades? Because I still don't have upgrades for Black Wargs. I still don't have upgrades for a lot of these guys. It's mostly redline skills and some scrap and some other specific skills. But these guys, they're going to get really powerful by the end. I really want to showcase in the end how effective they get. And you can even have the full tech tree around this level, around this rhythm, like if you really focus it, getting a lot of engineering because workshops, because basically they give you some research. So, you know, if you have the right ones, the right tools, then you always can do that sort of idea. So let's just get I really want to benefit someone that can work out a lot. So I think this guy, yeah. I could get almost all leadership there and melee defense, the thick robes. Those are expensive. Yeah, this guy still doesn't have the armor piercing. Okay, so I've decided. Leadership or the armor? Armor and speed is really important for this guy, for these guys. That's why they have been dying, because I haven't paid attention to their lack of armor. And these guys getting melee attack and weapon strength, yeah, definitely. That's important. And I could use some of this and some of this. I barely have enough to recruit to use with the ones that I have, but I'm thinking I should get some other guys. I mean, I have 100, so yeah, let's get just this. I really need these guys to have most of. You know, I want an army that I have already done the scrap upgrades for this whole army, so I can, you know, I can put an S in front of the Lord and say, yeah, there's no issue there. So, but I can't imagine how effective these guys are going to be once I have that, you know. And there's one of the weaknesses of the system is how scrap is actually difficult to find. It should get, I've been saying this, it should get like double the effects. If you get double, even then, or if they reduce the amounts of the units requiring, and even then it would be, it will be balanced. So I think it's not balanced in that sense. But oh well, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.